We were discussing about that issue of subsidy at WTO, right? The issue was like this. At WTO Bali Summit in 2013, right? Now again and again, the idea is to promote trade, first thing, and to make level playing field for all the countries, second. And the what he was saying, that the idea is to promote the hegemony of West through trade. How is it possible? By allowing more and more developed country into the markets. The markets are right now in the developing countries, right? So the ultimate objective is to open up the markets of developing countries, right, and promote the trade or the sale of these developed countries. Clear? Now see, there were certain decisions taken in 2013 Bali Summit. The first decision was to promote trade. Through trade, there was an agreement, trade facilitation agreement. There was trade facilitation agreement, right? First thing. Second thing, the idea was to restrict 10 subsidies to the 10% of agricultural produce. And third, inspection of stock holding. These are three things which were discussed at Bali Summit, right? WTO summits are taking place every year, right? So at that time, in 2014, this government came, right? NDA government. So what happened, that this trade facilitation agreement was actually capital intensive program, in which a huge lot of capital investment was involved. Reason being, this was promoting trade. How you can promote the trade? By promoting infrastructure. For example, if there is more turnaround time at the port, so you want to make it less. Okay, if some goods are coming from US, then turnaround time is more. That means there will be more expenditure of that company whatsoever who is importing or exporting something from here, right? So the idea is to increase the infrastructure, right? And by increasing the infrastructure, what you are doing, ultimately expenditure is increasing. Port improvement, right? Computerization of the ports, right? Developing highways and all those things. So trade facilitation agreement was basically about promoting the trade by developing the infrastructure, right? That was trade facilitation agreement, right? Now the developed countries were more interested in this TFA. They were provided with certain guidelines that until this time you have to complete all these things, right? And the least, see one thing more, that least developed countries are provided more flexibility in implementing all these things, right? Even if you see WTO regime, then you will find that more flexibilities are given to these countries, right? Now, second idea was 10% of agricultural produce. That means your subsidies cannot be more than 10% of the agricultural produce. Now see this thing, this is very critical point of this summit. This 10% means if your produce is of rupees 100, the whole agricultural output is of rupees 100. Now you can give only subsidies of rupees 10. Right, subsidy of rupees 10. The beauty of this idea is that this production, what will be this 100? Is it the agricultural produce right now, right, or of which time? Now the year considered for this is 1986-88. That means the subsidy given by Indian government should only be 10% of the agricultural produce of 1986-88. See this. Are you getting my point? In simple words, they are saying that you can give the subsidy in amber box because there is no discussion on green and this blue box subsidy. The discussion is going on only about the amber box subsidy, right? They are saying that you can give the subsidy, no doubt about it, but it should be 10% of the agricultural produce of 1986-88. Are you getting my point? That means you are not talking realistic. Can you imagine the agricultural produce in 1986-88 to the agricultural produce right now? At that time, our wheat production was not substantial, and despite that, the cost was around 300 per quintal. Now it is 1700. Are you getting my point? Secondly, they are saying that this subsidy will be counted on whole agricultural produce. That means if you are producing 20 million ton in country, they are assuming that the whole production is being subsidized by the government. But it is not so in the Indian context. India is giving subsidy only on those procurements done by the FCI. Right? This is what now. Where are you giving the subsidy? You are giving the subsidy only on those procurements which are done by FCI. If this 20 million ton is being produced in the country, is it completely procured by India? Not at all. Procurement is only restricted to 4 states. Right? And you are saying the whatever is the production, they are assuming that you are subsidizing the whole production. Are you getting my point? That means they are not realistic. They are not realistic in this sense. Correct. Now what happens? This 10% is 5% for the developing country. Developed countries. Right. 10% is for developing, 5% is for developed country. Are you getting my point? Now, the credit goes to this Modi government that they become assertive. In 13, they were supposed to sign the agreement. Then there was a term, peace clause. Peace clause says that initially what was happening, that they were more interested in signing this TFA, because they want to promote the trade. Once the TFA was signed, they have to increase the infrastructure. Then they came up with the peace clause and stated that they will sign TFA. They were given 1 year at that time, and finally it was extended to infinite time, subjected to that a TFA will only be signed if and if 10% issue is resolved. Got it? TFA, there was a peace clause which states that TFA will only be signed, the timeline was for 1 year, and within this timeline you have to resolve the issue of 10%, right? Developing countries were more interested in this idea because once it is implemented, then they have to restrict their subsidies. Developed countries were more interested in TFA, right? So then came, initially it was for 1 year, that means 13 by 14 they have to sign it. Government of Modi become assertive and extended this to infinite, right? In 2016 the government has signed TFA, right? The government has signed TFA, but again push and pulls are going on for the implementation of 10% part. सब्सिडी वाला जो चल रहा है उसके ऊपर अभी खींचातानी चल रही है, ठीक है? लाइक इन 2020 देयर वाज समिट टू बी हेल्ड इन कजाकिस्तान, राइट? तो वहाँ पे भी यही था कि इंडिया ने जो सब्सिडी दिया है राइस के लिए 5 बिलियन, तो वो बोल रहे थे कि व्हाई यू आर गिविंग द सब्सिडी, अगेन द सेम इशू. नाउ द डिबेट इज, the arguments of the developing country or India is that our subsidies are livelihood subsidies and your subsidies are luxury, for luxurious life. This is a debate between livelihood and luxurious, right? That means you are giving $150 billion, right? And ours is only around 28. It's far less than. And besides that, see the population. If you talk about per capita subsidy, it's substantial. Their farmers are having, even if you go in more detail, then top 10 farmers are getting subsidies in millions. Their farmers. Right, their farmers are one of the, they're rich. Unlike the farmer, see the farmer of India. What is the socio-economic status of the Indian farmer? Right. So that is the issue. Right. So the issue is whether they have to continue with this. तो ये कह रहे हैं कि हम we will continue with this. Secondly, they are saying that you are assuming, पहला तो सबसे बड़ा कंटेंशन ये है कि यू आर कंसीडरिंग रेट्स ऑफ 1986-88, दैट इज नॉन रियलिस्टिक. देन दे आर अज्यूमिंग दैट द होल प्रोड्यूस इज बीइंग प्रोक्योर्ड, दैट इज अगेन नॉन रियलिस्टिक. थर्ड पॉइंट, they are saying that developing countries, saying that India specifically is saying that subsidy is said to be the gap between the market price and the prices provided by us. Many times it has been observed that we are procuring at 17 and in markets it is 20. Right? That means there should be, if it is in market 14 and we are purchasing it at 17, right, then there is gap. That means you cannot say that this we are purchasing the whole price whole, and why you are considering that we are giving this this is comparable to the market price. This is comparable to the market price. Then they are saying whatever is being produced or procured is not diverted for trade in the international market. The trade distortionary is taking place when we are opening up this FCI go downs for the open markets. It's not. We are not opening up these we are not bringing out of this FCI is not coming in the open market. Right. So as of now, the arguments are going on. Clear? So this is the basic idea of this subsidy. Now what the government is doing, ultimately the day will come they have to follow this ultimately. If not at 90, 86, 88 price, at any price, right? Might be it's something around 20 price, right? But they have to restrict it. That's why the government is taking steps to start restricting the subsidies. This is the whole debate. Is it clear? ये जितना भी debate चल रहा है वो क्यों चल रहा है? The government ultimately has to restrict these subsidies at any cost. And that's why they are restricting all these things. And that's why they are directly transferring such things like they are transferring money in the accounts, right? Because it is not restricted under subsidy, right? So they are saying that you are increasing the production, you have to restrict it, and that's why you have to reduce all these subsidies, right? So this is what the third issue जो था stock holding, inspection of stock holding. Issue of stock holding means, inspection of stock holding means, they are saying that can you recall those climate change related internationally it was stated that these climate जो carbon projects होते हैं ना, there is an arrangement that international agencies will cross check whether your projects are as per the international standards. वो बोलते हैं वो कार्बन प्रोजेक्ट्स जो बनाते हैं ना, जो मिटिगेशन प्रोजेक्ट्स आपने पढ़ा है, वो कार्बन अभी नहीं पढ़ा है? अभी नहीं पढ़ा, पढ़ेंगे. There is a provision in this climate change issue. What happens that you can trade off carbon credits. पढ़ा है? हाँ, उसमें ना कार्बन क्रेडिट्स you can trade off. So what happens if a person A or country A is saying that I have a project which is creating which is for example 250 points carbon credits, तो इंटरनेशनल एजेंसी बोलती है कि it is subjected to the scrutiny, that is inspection, right, by the international agency to cross check whether you have what you have said is justified, it is valid, right? In the similar manner they are saying that whatever you are stock holding, ठीक है, like you are saying that we have stock holding this and that, now it will be open to the international agencies. Right. तो इसमें ये बोलते हैं कि भाई इट्स अगेंस्ट द सोवरेनिटी. सही भी बात यह है, इट्स अगेंस्ट द सोवरेनिटी ऑफ द कंट्री. मतलब is it feasible that a person from abroad he is coming to just inspect the FCI godowns of India, that what we are storing? That means it will again be against the concept of food security. Reason being, then whatever you are distributing to the people, starting from oil pulses, everything will be under their monitoring. Because if you are stock holding something, right now what is happening, you are only saying कि we are giving this subsidy only for rice and wheat. यही चल रहा है ना अभी. Once they come to know that you are also distributing all these things, right, that means everything will be under scrutiny. आपका जो scope है subsidy वाला और कम हो जाएगा. They will also count all these things. अभी तो rice and wheat की कहानी चल रही है सारी. Right, so this is how the debate is this about this subsidy regime. Clear? तो ये सारी मेन डिबेट है अभी सब्सिडी की पूरी. तो इसमें आपका जो स्टैंड है, इसमें जो मैंने बताया आपको 10% सब्सिडी वाले में जो स्टैंड रखना है वो यही रखना है आपको. ठीक है, जो हमारा वी आर नॉट सब्सिडीज आर नॉट फॉर लग्जरी बट फॉर लाइवलीहुड. सेकेंडली द टारगेट्स आर अनरियलिस्टिक बिकॉज यू आर आस्किंग for 86, 88, then you're assuming that whole production is being procured by the government. It's not like that. Fourth, you are saying that the prices at which the government is procuring are almost equal to the market price. So how you can assume that whole money given is in the form of subsidy? You have to calculate the difference first, right? Then this production, the procurement in the FCIs are not being diverted to the international market, right? Even they are not diverted to the market, right? When the government is diverting it to the market, they are only channelized for the PDS purposes, right? That's why you have to argue that it is not justified at all. So this is about your TFA. Clear? Then any question about this? इसको समझ लेना, अगर कुछ हो इसमें क्वेरी तो पूछ लीजिए, एक बार इसको गो थ्रू हो लीजिए, because it is critical, it can be asked.
Sir, I still do not understand this point. We are saying that okay, procurement, जो आपने India's arguments, all of them are valid, but then we are giving subsidies to the entire farmer segment, right? Of which a part of it which we are procuring. So in the end, we are still subsidizing a lot of produce which is going into the market, right?
नहीं,
apart from the procurement and those costs, fertilizer का cost हो गया या बाकी सारे जो input वाले subsidies जो हम दे रहे हैं, that will be to the larger.
They are saying that they are counting, they are assuming the subsidies at that, उनको तो वाला count कर रहा है. ठीक है, they are counting that for example you are having, you procure 20 million ton this year, for example, okay, right?
Let us suppose 100 million ton has been produced in the country.
60, okay. 40 has been produced,
okay,
right? And you have only procured 20 out of it, even less than 20. Now they are assuming that this whole is being subsidized. They are assuming 40 metric ton into 1700.
But then that 40 metric ton has been given some input subsidies, right?
But that is different. They are also counting it now. That will be counted in other head when they will be counting fertilizer. You have only to focus on this part only. Forget about उसको सीन में मत लेके आइए, क्योंकि उसकी लड़ाई नहीं है. Right? The argument is they are saying that we will count the whole production. They are assuming that you are paying 1700 into total production.
Okay. The forward linkages, they are expanding it to the entire.
हाँ. Now we are only paying for 1700 into 20.
Which we are using domestically.
Which we are procuring. But government of India is giving money only to the procurement na. It's only giving to the procurement. If a farmer is selling it to ITC, government is nowhere stands in that deal. Government is only in the deal or giving the money for this 20 million ton. Clear? आगे चलें। तो ये जितना भी WTO पे जो मेजर क्वेश्चन है वो यही है, अगर आपका मेंस में बनता है तो, राइट। उसके अलावा एक डिबेट और भी है कि WTO वर्सेस रीजनल ट्रेड एग्रीमेंट्स। देखिए, ट्रेड एग्रीमेंट इज एक्चुअली टेकिंग प्लेस बिटवीन कंट्रीज, राइट। तो इनिशियली व्हाट वाज हैपनिंग इन 1990s, until 1990s or until 2000 more specifically, the developed countries were dictating to the developing countries, and developing countries, because of one pressure or another, they have to follow all these things, all the guidelines, right? But post in the 21st century, these countries, China and India, all the developing countries under the leadership of these countries, especially BRICS countries, right? They have now become assertive, and now they are questioning the hegemony of the developed countries, right? That's why you will see that, for example, if this issue of trade facilitation agreement or a Bali summit, it is still inconclusive, right? It is still inconclusive because India is not ready to do away with the 10% subsidy, right? That means it's inconclusive, right? Even about TFA, they are saying that yes, we are following the guidelines, we will do this and that, we are doing in hurry, but 2016, this 21, still we have not implemented all the things, and we are arguing for that. Right? That means that after the increasing stature economically, strategically of the developing countries, they have become more assertive. That means the WTO regime, reason being, initially what was happening, whatever the developed countries, US was telling, we are accepting. Now what is happening, that we are analyzing. We are now analyzing, right? Analyzing in the sense we are questioning. And because we are questioning, we have realized that this WTO is nothing but the puppet playing in the hands of US. Clear? That's why WTO many times, even क्वेश्चंस कैन बी आस्क्ड। ये ना आप IR के साथ इसको आंसर लिखना है आपको। IR में आपको पढ़ाएंगे अब ये जो जितना भी सेपा ये सब चीज़ें, CECA, CEPA है ना, ये सब जो पढ़ाएंगे। इवन अभी जो आपका ये जो क्या है RCEP, राइट। तो आफ्टर स्पेशली आफ्टर 2000 you might have heard that such regional trade agreements are emerging, right? So why these are emerging? Because it is doubtful, it is being questioned because of the intentions or the people behind this WTO, right? So now what is happening, that people have started the countries have started negotiating RTAs, regional trade agreements. RTAs के फायदे नुकसान क्या है, कुछ बताएंगे? फायदा क्या है?
More localized trade.
ठीक है, level playing field, everybody is at par.
It only remains bilateral between the countries actually. There is no external persons who impose some restrictions on both the countries.
Okay, what else? देखिए, RTA तो ये है कि आपका lesser the countries, right, it is easier to implement. पहला, उसका गाइडलाइंस उतना ईजी होता है। सेकेंडली, उस तरीके का जैसे WTO में क्या है, ह्यूज बॉडी है, इम्प्लीमेंटेशन बड़ा टफ है। तीसरा क्या है, इट अपीयर्स एज इफ द वेस्ट इज ट्राइंग टू इम्प्लीमेंट एनी एजेंडा, राइट? दैट्स व्हाई देयर इज ऑलवेज अ गैप डिवाइड बिटवीन वेस्ट एंड ईस्ट, developed and developing. So they are always arguing, developing countries are always arguing that they are trying to force their agenda on us, right? So when from the start it is the idea, then there is always suspicion about the WTO regime. RTA में क्या होता है, everything is mutually agreed upon, right? Whatever they are starting with, from the very start they are starting it with mutual agreement. While in the WTO it is not the case. Agreement started later on once the guidelines has come. यहाँ पे सबसे बड़ा नुकसान ये है कि नुकसान क्या है आरटीए का, वाई आरटीए आर नॉट डिजायर्ड?
economics of scale.
नहीं, और
They may hamper domestic production. Like in the RCP, it was mainly hampering the domestic production.
दैट्स हाउ, वो उसी पे आना चाह रहा हूँ मैं.
When we are talking about daily products, so Australia is a large exporter of daily products, and if we sign the trade agreement, so we cannot stop the imports.
इसको एक थोड़ा और सोफिस्टिकेटेड टर्म में समझिए, that RTA is including all the countries which are almost having a comparative advantage in the same things. Like RTA means the neighboring countries. RTA is neighboring countries. That means they will be having almost same geography, same manufacturing skills. Everything will be almost the same. That means they will have comparative advantages in almost the same things. For example, if you are having RTA including Bangladesh, you are also fighting for textile. Bangladesh is also fighting for textile. Yeah, that means you are fighting for the same things. Now, that means in RTA, the countries are not supplementing each other. Right? They are not supplementing each other. Rather, they have to fight. At times, it appears as if their interests are overlapping. Right? They are having overlapping interest. Right? For example, if you talk about this Malaysia and all those countries, they are having palm oil. Right? India भी palm oil में अच्छा कर सकता है. Right? So that means we are having no motivation. Even if you see when RTAs are implemented, even not RTAs, whenever there is any international agreement is being implemented in the country like India, there is hue and cry. Right? Farmers are always against such agreements because to an extent, reason भी again वही globalization वाला फंडा, we are not competitive. Right? We are not competitive. That's why. Right? So to remain competitive, we have to implement this international agreements are preferred. But वहाँ पे अपने issues हैं. Is it clear?
India has chosen middle path, right?
हाँ वही चल रहा है अभी. देखिए दोनों ही इंडिया के लिए, हाँ दोनों ही, क्योंकि इंडिया का जो नेबर है ना, वहाँ पे इंडिया का वो उस तरीके का है नहीं माहौल ठीक ठाक. यू आर हैविंग इश्यूज विद नेपाल, ठीक है, बांग्लादेश के साथ चलो ठीक है थोड़ा बहुत, श्रीलंका के साथ भी ऑन एंड ऑफ होता रहता है. राइट? ऊपर से चाइना. राइट? म्यांमार अपना अलग स्टोरी है. सो देयर आर इश्यूज एंड विद बांग्लादेश एंड वियतनाम वी आर हैविंग ओवरलैपिंग इंटरेस्ट्स. Got it? So this is how the issue of subsidy is. Next topic discuss करते हैं पेटेंट वाला. उसके बाद हम मैं लिखाऊंगा. Then we will be left with that black money part thing.
So we are going by the official stand of Ministry of External Affairs, right? When we are saying that RTAs are not so successful. So even the Jaishankar has stated the same, like RTAs have not been successful for India.
He's saying that.
Yeah, he
Yes,
said it
okay.
when we were talking about RCEP. So he was saying the same, like RTA regimes were not so successful.
It's not about India. It's about RTAs are, that's why not preferred, because we are having overlapping interest. We are competing for the same thing. For example, if you are having RTA with Bangladesh, economic survey is saying that you have to promote your textile production. And if you started RTA with Bangladesh will flood your market. तो आपका तो objective ही खत्म हो गया ना. If you are having this agreement with West, for example, this US, why Bangladesh become manufacturing hub for textile? Do you know?
It is an NDC country, but
Yes.
it gets incentives.
That's why. Because in WTO regime, these countries are being incentivized in terms of reduced duties. Right? That means there's always preference for promoting trade in case of a WTO regime. Right? But you should have efficiency for that. India lacks that. That's an issue. Right? वही जो ग्लोबलाइजेशन वाली कहानी वो यहाँ पे है. ठीक है.
So we cannot go for both the agreements, right, sir? At least now we need to build upon ourselves through Atmanirbhar, and once we are done with that, we can go for export-led growth.
नहीं वही कर रहे हैं, वही है. तो सी अब एक्सपोर्ट लेड ग्रोथ, if you are planning for export led growth, then if WTO is not, the agreement is not successful, then what is the way out? At least something should be
Once
there.
we are achieved it.
Then you should you have to rely upon,
Yeah, we need
you have to rely upon RTA.
Yes.
Right? But for that you have to be competent enough for that. You have to realize your competencies. Right? This is how this debate of RTA and WTO is. Patent, कुछ आइडिया है पेटेंट्स के बारे में? मैं वो सब नहीं करा रहा हूँ. कॉपीराइट ये मैं इसलिए करा रहा हूँ क्योंकि कुछ इश्यूज उसमें मेंस का है. अदरवाइज वो कॉपीराइट लाइसेंसिंग वो सब आगे के बाद देख लेना. कराया थोड़ा बहुत कहीं?
Science agreement.
हाँ तो बस ठीक है, वहाँ की हाँ वहीं कराया होगा ये. तो what
CPAM,
हैं?
like
CPAM हाँ.
CPAM, patent, trademark.
What is patent basically, and what type of patents are we having in India?
Patents are protection of intellectual property rights in the form of ideas, devices, plans, or prototypes.
What type of payment regime we are having in India now? What type of patent regimes? See, उसी से आपको समझ में आ गया डिबेट क्या है पूरी. Have you gone through the concept of evergreening?
Yes.
वो तो बता रहे थे, तुम पढ़ा है तुमने.
The meaning is
Evergreening in patent,
licensing,
pharma, in pharma.
Bayer company.
हाँ, yes. See, the issue is patent is basically you are giving proprietorship for anything, right? And initially it is given. Why is patent necessary?
So that nobody can steal and reproduce the same.
Why it is required?
Incentive to produce and innovate.
Main term is R&D, right? For example, if you talk about this pandemic time, right? If scientists or any company, for example, this Pfizer or Bharat Biotech came up with any vaccine, and right now if it's costing, for example, 2,000 rupees, public में यही बोला 1,000 2,000 something in the public domain. Now if you are saying that someone steals this idea, नेचुरल सी बात है, पता लग ही जाएगा, कोई इतना बड़ा वो नहीं है, बस स्टार्टिंग में ही प्रॉब्लम होता है, ठीक है. एंड दे स्टार्टेड सेलिंग एट 100 रुपीज़, राइट, 100 200. That means either they will be forced to sell it at 150 or their sale will be zero, right? Now what will be the motivation of Pfizer to R&D in future? But they have invested a lot of money, right? That's why there is concept of patent. Okay, this is how why we should have patent. First thing. Second thing is that when type of patent, what we are happening, we are having two type of patent: process, product. Right. In process patent, what was happening, that you were concerned only about the process, you are not concerned about the final product. So what was happening, that for example this is product, the final product is B, right? And this is, for example, Pfizer has developed vaccine B starting from this process A, chemical, using chemical A, and these are in between chemical reactions or any byproducts, intermediate products or process. Now what happened, any company X came up with idea, they started with A they did certain changes within the process, right? They started with something A, this intermediate processes were C and D, and finally they produce B, which was the same product as this, right? Under the process patent, it was allowed. That means Mr. X can apply for this drug that is similar to Pfizer, but it is having certain iterations in the process, changes in the process. It is allowed. It was allowed under the process patent regime. Clear? Clear? Nahi. See, what happens that Pfizer developed a vaccine for COVID, and that vaccine was named as B, right? It was having the chemical constituents in B, right? It is unique, and it uses these processes. It started with chemical product A, right? And this chemical product was converted into A dash, and then A double dash, and finally it was converted into B, right? Final vaccine. Now what happened that somebody X, they steal this formula, right? And they were smart enough. What scientists did, they have certain changes in this formulation, intermediary formulations, right? In the sense that they started, for example, any relative nearer component A triple dash, right? It is nowhere in this whole series. Then they came to they derived C from A triple dash. Then they derived D from C, and finally they derived B from D, right? They manipulated the whole process, right? In the sense that the final product was B, but the process in between was different, right? Or the chemical reactions which were taking place to arrive at the same products were different from this process. So the difference between these two is the process, but the final product is same. That means it is very easier to tinker with the chemical process taking place, right? आपको ये पता है starting product क्या है, और आपको ये पता है final product क्या है. So it is very easier to come up with a final product. It becomes very easier, right? It is clear now. That means it was being realized that people were misusing that patent regime, right? Companies were making patents by just changing in certain processes and coming up with new products, right? So it was basically process patent regime in those times. Then there was amendment in 2005 in Indian Patent Act, and we go for product patent regime. Right, we adopted product patent regime. What's in it? They are saying that we are concerned only about the process or product. That means what was happening here, A dash, A double dash, B, and here was A triple dash, C, D, B. Now they are saying that because it is similar to this product, that's why patent cannot be given, because now the patent will be given to the final product which is dissimilar to this product, right? Clear? This is product patent. Now in 2005 there were certain amendments in this also, at which checks the concept of evergreening in pharmaceutical companies, right? Now what happens, this company which has made B, product B, right? Actually, patent is there for only 20 years because it is assumed that in 20 years company have realized all the expenditures. Is it clear? Now after 20 years, now this formula or this product is open to all. If person जो हम वहाँ पे बोले थे ये बंदा, this person can now use any process to manufacture this B. After 20 years, if manufacturing is taking place, it is said to be generic drug. Generic, right? जो आपको पता होगा ये वो है ना जन औषध केंद्र यहाँ पे हैं, है ना? तो if you see there is any medicine which is costing around 100 rupees, so in generic it might be 10 rupees, 5 rupees, right? Because the product is almost the same, right? But the patent days are over. So most of the medicines in government dispensaries are basically generic medicines, right? Now there is again debate. India is even when we are discussing jobless growth, we were saying that we are pharma hub, right, of this. So what was happening that India is arguing for promoting this generic, and because they are saying that we are talking about again the lives of the poor people, because generic drugs can be afforded by the poor people, but these patented drugs can't be afforded by the poor people, right? This is the idea. Now what happens that this company, what this company was doing, right? For example, they started this medicine in 2000. Now in 2020, this drug B was to be made generic. ठीक है? Now what happened? This company was very smart, and what they did, they started with A double dash, A triple dash, and they came up with a medicine B dash, right? This B dash was almost similar to B, but with certain changes. Right, there were certain changes only in B dash in comparison to B, right? Now this B dash, they again applied, they went to the patent office and applied for patent, right? Patent office declined, turned down. They said that Indian patent regime is having a term therapeutic efficacy. There is a term therapeutic efficacy. It means B dash will only and only be provided a patent if and only if this is substantially better, far better than B. It's not like that you did just tinker with the existing medicine and came out with certain changes and apply for the patent. This B dash should be substantially different from B, and the term is therapeutic efficacy, right? On that basis, actually it happens in case of this Nexavar medicine, right? I think Glivec, no, what is Glivec was a cancer medicine. उन्होंने iteration किया कुछ, ठीक है, नोवाट है,
पैरासिटामोल ऐड कर दिया,
हाँ, उसको चेंज करने के बाद में they applied for the patent, right? Madras High Court declined, and that was upheld by Supreme Court of India. And that question was asked in UPSC at that time. राइट, तो मैंने आपको कहा था ना, जजमेंट्स जो आते हैं सुप्रीम कोर्ट के, प्लीज टेक नोट ऑफ दोज जजमेंट्स, राइट. तो व्हाट हैपेंड दैट these were the certain changes, if there are only certain changes in the that formulation, right. So this process of B2B dash without substantial changes is said to be evergreening. That means you are doing nothing but just taking patent of medicine which were already existing. Yeah, you are evergreening the patent by a little bit changes in the chemical formulation. Is it clear? This is evergreening. So as of now, the India is having product patent regime, and evergreening is allowed. There is an Indian Patents Act which was inserted in 2005, which talks about that new patent will only be given if and only if you are proving that it is of therapeutic efficacy. Clear. Next term comes.
So evergreening is allowed provided therapeutic efficacy.
You have to prove. You have to prove. Then comes next concept, compulsory licensing. Compulsory licensing means, for example, there is any drug, and the drug, the better example is there was a drug by a company Bayer, right? A cancerous drug. I think it was Nexavar or something. And that drug, Bayer, that drug was basically costing 1,20,000 per month. Right, it was the cost of that drug when it was taken by the people. The cost was 1.20 lakhs per month. Then, when Novartis applied for this, he stated that that drug we can manufacture it and provide at 10,000 rupees per month. Right. Then this Bayer argued that you cannot do that because we are having patent. The court says that it is allowed. The court says that it is allowed, but it is subjected to certain restrictions. First, it is possible after 3 years of patent, right? Then they are saying you have to prove, this company Novartis has to prove that this drug of which they are looking for the patent or they are planning to manufacture is not affordable.
Second company need to prove it.
Second company has to need to prove it, right? And third, they have also to prove that it is not available to the masses. क्योंकि भाई खरीदने वाले तो हैं ही, तभी तो बिक रही है वो. But poor people cannot afford it. Right? If these conditions are fulfilled, then you can apply for compulsory licensing. Right? When compulsory licensing, for that what you have to do, you have to give some amount of money as license fee to the original patent holder, right? But it will be nominal fees. right? So you cannot claim that I have so much of expenditure in that, right? What, and the government is arguing, and there was an argument that it is acceptable under TRIPS agreement, WTO, Trade Related Intellectual Property Rights Agreement, because they are saying, the WTO is saying that you can take steps to ensure the livelihood of the masses, right? This is how the debate of compulsory licensing is. Is it clear? ठीक है, इसको लिखते हैं. कहाँ तक लिखा था हमने कल? Agriculture was over. Dry farming. इसमें ना agriculture.
Dry farming significant issues and strategies.
हाँ वो हो गया था. Right. Now we will write with. ओके अभी APMC एक्ट तो रह गया. APMC और कुछ तो नहीं रहा है, एक बार मैं देख लेता हूँ. यही है बस. देखिए APMC is basically a geographical area, exclusive geographical area delineated, and it is for the purposes of acting as a mandi, as a market. It is carved out geographical area. The farmer is going to this area, and here he is meeting some agents. He is seller, and the buyers are coming to this area. This APMC is providing a platform to the sellers as well as buyers, right? These people are meeting at this APMC, this platform, and these agents are actually acting as mediator between these two, right? Facilitator, right? इसमें ना facilitator word use मत करना. Facilitator is a positive word. एंड दिस मीडिएटर, जो इनके लिए ना मीडिएटर ही यूज़ किया गया है, क्योंकि APMC में जो ये लोग हैं दे आर कंसिडर्ड टू बी इन नेगेटिव सेंस, राइट? तो दे आर एक्टिंग एज मीडिएटर इन विच दिस प्रोसेस, दिस ट्रांजेक्शन इज टेकिंग प्लेस, राइट? नाउ सी द प्रोसेस. This farmer is coming to this APMC, this yard, and he is giving commission to this agent. He is taking a commission from the seller as well as from the buyer, right? And now these, for example, there are 3 agents in this APMC mandi. Then they are having cartel. That means if they have decided that we will be charging fees X, or we will be taking a potato at the rate of 5 rupees per kg, right? Then everybody has to take potato at the rate of 5 per kg, right? despite the fact that in the market it might be 15. Then these agents are controlled by political parties. They're working on the political lines, right? And that means this money, whichever is coming in the collected in the form of fees, right? This money is supposed to improve upon the infrastructure of this, but ideally it's not taking place. They are still following the existing norms, right? And they are traditional, right? And there is no value addition. पहला चीज. Secondly, these yards or mandis are actually in towns. So these people have to travel throughout their village and they are entering the town, right? Logistic and all those things, right? And then it is being said that they are giving them parchi sort of slip, and many times they are not getting money at the same point of time. They have to wait for that, right? So the issue is that this seller is not actually getting the actual price. But what is happening here, fees or mediation fees is raising this cost, right? And because of this buyer, right, is getting costly, and finally it is market में जो है, this is a huge gap between farm to fork. इसको पैसा नहीं मिल रहा है, बीच का पैसा सारा ये जा रहा है. This fees is not utilized for any value addition to the whole process. It is being argued, right? Now, realizing this, the government of India came up with Model Act 2003. Model Act 2003 came up with the idea to promote markets beyond APMCs, right? That means, for example, it also talks about contract farming. Right? Can you tell me that how contract farming is hindered by APMC? Why contract farming is not allowed under APMC?
Because the mediation has to take place in the exclusively delimited area.
Moreover, the produce what they are doing in the contract farming is procured by the same contractor who is giving the farm.
Right.
And the produce doesn't come to APMC.
Actually, in the contract farming, what you are saying that this contractor or the businessman, he is having a contract with the farmer. That means whatever is being produced by a farmer is to be procured by this businessman. This procurement is taking place out of this APMC mandi, and it is not allowed. And APMC is controlled by the state laws, right? So that means contract farming is not allowed under the APMC regime. Is it clear? So now,
Is it the regime or the political factor?
you have to not politics.
Talking about the Model Act, it is facilitating the process actually, but it's because of the political pressure, it is not happening in the reality. While Model Act is supporting creating a market beyond the APMC.
हाँ, that's what I'm saying. नहीं, ये तो मैंने आपको see, Model Act is telling you that they are promoting markets beyond APMCs. They are saying that there can be n number of markets. That means, for example, there are 10 villages in the area, and in every village there are 2 businessmen. They are carrying out contract farming. That means there will be 20 areas. These 20 areas will be acting as 20 mandis, with reference to this, right? These 20 mandis will be outside this. So Model Act is saying that the markets beyond APMCs, there will be 20 markets within that region beyond that APMC mandi, right? That means you are promoting contract farming in Model Act 2003. But issue was also there. The issue in the sense that you were saying that still you have to pay the fee. Still you have to pay the fee to APMC mandi. Even if you are directly purchasing something from the farmer, still you have to pay fee to the APMC mandi, right? So this is how this APMC अभी इन्होंने जो बोल रहे हैं, what they are saying now, they are saying that first they are saying that to do away with this APMC, not doing away with APMC, but they are allowing markets beyond APMC. That means they are promoting contract farming. Right. Now they are saying that you can do contract farming, you can be in agreement with the businessman. APMC Act will not check you for this. You can execute the contracts, right? Then they are saying another issue is with ESMA, Essential Commodities Act, which is saying that you cannot store beyond a limit. यही है ना. तो अब वो कह रहा है जो कॉन्ट्रैक्टर है, बिजनेसमैन है, दे आर ऑफ द ओपिनियन कि इफ आई एम हैविंग कॉन्ट्रैक्ट फार्मिंग बट आई कैंट स्टोर बियॉन्ड द लिमिट, देन व्हाट इज द यूज ऑफ कैरिंग आउट कॉन्ट्रैक्ट फार्मिंग? EC है, it's ES if I'm not wrong.
Essential commodities management.
ESM is Emergency Services Maintenance Act, something like that. It is used when entire government working servants are striking to strike. Mostly government.
नहीं, उसके लिए भी उसके उस वक्त भी यूज होता है एस्मा.
That is ESMA. I think this is Essential Commodities Act.
Essential Commodities Act. Okay. Right, might be Essential Commodities Act. Okay. So what is happening in this? Let me check it out. I'll let you know. So what is happening in this? You can't store beyond a limit. Right? Storing beyond a limit means you have to come up with certain amendment that you can store any of the amount. Right? If you will be in a position to store any of the one, then only contract farming will be carried out. If you are saying that you can store only 50 quintals of tomato, and in contract farming you will be having 500 quintal. So until and unless you are storing this, you are not allowed for stocking, then there is no use of contract farming, right? So this is how things are working. This is APMC Act. लिखिए जरा. Yes, this is Essential Commodities Act, right? Essential Commodities Act. Write down. Anish. Write down. Contract farming. Have you done with this contract farming? Write down. नहीं लिखा है, लिखिए कॉन्ट्रैक्ट फार्मिंग लिख लीजिए. Subsidy, cash transfer, then WTO regime, APMC, then comes India TFA, then insurance, food processing industry है अभी. लिखिए. कॉन्ट्रैक्ट फार्मिंग लिखिए. इट्स एक्चुअली a legal arrangement between a landowner and a company which is based upon certain terms and conditions. In the present times, it is being understood that contract farming can bring more investment in agriculture, increase productivity, and hence income of the farmers. But the contract farming is subjected to state laws. ब्रैकेट में APMC. Contract farming also creates the question on the sustainability of agriculture. The farming by the company will be input intensive in the form of fertilizer, pesticides, and water. In order to acquire maximum benefits during time of lease, it is understood that such intensive inputs will degrade the soil and hence the farmer will not be in a position to do the farming after the contractual time. The company can acquire huge tract of land and will result into monopolistic nature of agriculture. The company will be interested in the farming of cash crops which can be a challenge to the food security. What is food security, by the way?
Accessibility, affordability, and availability of.
हाँ, 3 A's. We are talking about 3 A's. Accessibility, affordability. इसमें ना एक टर्म और ऐड कर लीजिएगा, absorption, absorbability. Accessibility, availability, affordability, and fourth you can add another dimension, and absorption.
So what is absorption?
What is absorption? Tell me. It is more diversified definition of food security now. Do you know that all the that means what they are saying, that if you can visualize the governments, ये ministry ना, they are this ministry of sanitation, water, it has been combined with the Ministry of Health, right? Reason being, now it is assumed and understood that health is not only about this food security, and health is not only about having food and all those things. But what matters is, and the best part you have to understand is, like survey tells that it's not that people who are rich, the children, Punjab is having Punjab, Delhi are having the most malnourished children, right? Reason being कि आप बर्गर खा रहे हैं और आप मोटे हो रहे हैं, that does not mean that you are healthy, right? Being so much मोटा is as, मतलब child में क्या है कि if you are assuming that बंदा is, मतलब बच्चा वैसा हो रहा है, right? But it does not mean that he is healthy, right? So they are saying that the new dimension is that you should be healthy, right? So they are saying that कि they have concluded that the बच्चे हैं, observe that कि if they are taking fast food, if a person is rich and the child is availing only the fast food, that does not mean his stomach is full, but it's not giving any nutritious value to him. He might be facing certain disease, right? So they are saying that कि आपको जो health का मतलब, ये एक नया component इसलिए इन्होंने ऐड किया है. So it's more about sanitation, it's more about nutritious value you are eating, right? So absorption का मतलब है whatever you are eating, it should be absorbed in your body. For example, if you have provided food to the people, food to a child or the people, but they are not healthy, right? They are not having sanitation. So cleanliness, sanitation, water availability, right? These all have diversified the definition of food security. Food security is not only about accessibility, availability, and this affordability. It's also about absorption of all the nutrients in your body, right? ये हो गया. Next लिखिए. नहीं, ये तो बहुत पुराना कॉन्सेप्ट, मतलब ये मतलब नहीं, I don't think so. I haven't read in this. This is मतलब way back. This is a diversified definition. मतलब आप भी समझो ना, फूड सिक्योरिटी का मतलब तभी होगा ना, है ना? हाँ, इसको ना सर्च करना. आई थिंक प्लानिंग कमीशन ये चीज़ बोलता है. मैंने मतलब कभी पढ़ा था, मेरे को अभी रिकॉल किया मैंने, इसलिए मेरे को ध्यान आ गया. ठीक है, मतलब तो यू कैन गो फॉर इट, मतलब पढ़ सकते हो आप इस चीज़ को कहीं कि व्हाट इज़ फूड सिक्योरिटी, व्हाट इज़ रोल ऑफ सैनिटेशन इन फूड सिक्योरिटी, राइट? So for example, if there is one aspect is gender biasness in food security. For example, you are having food at home, but if you see that in mostly homes that ladies are in the previous ladies were eating in the last, right, and they were having not having nutritious food, right. So you are having the food, affordability is there, accessibility is there, but there is no बोलते ना मतलब एक जेंडर बाइसनेस है वहाँ पे. So that's why you are not, that's not food security despite that it is there. Next लिखिए leasing of land.
When we are talking about contract farming, we
हाँ बस इतना ही है.
we stated the negative points of that.
हाँ तो ये तो है ही नेगेटिव पॉइंट.
So if at all government is promoting contract farming,
हाँ
but we are also stating what are the pros and what are the cons of it.
नहीं, it depends upon the question. Might be a possibility that they can ask you for the critical analysis.
Okay.
So देखिए मैंने वही बताया, आप you should be ready with everything. वो डिपेंड ये करेगा क्या पूछ रहा है वो, आपको बस उसी के हिसाब से चीज़ें एक्सप्लेन करनी है. That's all.
So if you go on, if you want to say this contract farming is a way forward, so what are the little changes can we think in this?
See, आप you can talk about जैसे मैंने बोला marginal, as we are having 85% of marginal farmers. The issues with the realization of the price. तो आप क्या करेंगे कॉन्ट्रैक्ट फार्मिंग में, क्या करेगा, they will pool the land, ठीक है, they will pool the land, right,
Provide incentives.
provide incentive to the farmers, right. तो इसका मतलब ये हुआ जब एन इकोनॉमी ऑफ स्केल वाला फंडा फिर आ जाएगा, दैट विल बी डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड अमंग द पीपल, जो फार्मर है उसको पैसा मिलेगा, ठीक है. तो इसका मतलब ये हुआ कि आपने पूल लैंड किया, इकोनॉमी ऑफ स्केल हो गया, कोऑपरेटिव फार्मिंग टाइप की चीज़ें आ गई, उसके सारे बेनिफिट्स होंगे. दूसरा मैकेनाइजेशन ऑफ लैंड हो जाएगा.
So like when we are talking about way forward, we also need to tackle the problems of this. So like when we are saying that it may also result in monopolistic nature of the agriculture or changing of cropping patterns, like cash crops will be.
हाँ.
So how to deal with that? Like should government come with like contract farming also? Like to a certain extent, they must deal with food crops rather than.
See, you cannot, I don't think so that the businessman will work at your terms and condition.
At least to a certain extent, otherwise.
Too much of intervention.
I don't think so.
But at least to a certain extent, otherwise, as stated in.
You can say that there can be certain percentage that for ensuring that part you can advise, but I don't think that the company will.
But then contract farming itself will become a loophole or something.
है ही वो तो. एक्चुअली जो पंजाब में यही इशू है ना, पंजाब में दे आर फेसिंग ऑल दोज इश्यूज. कॉन्ट्रैक्ट फार्मिंग इज बीइंग प्रैक्टिस इन पंजाब ऑलरेडी.
Actually, when government is supporting this, then we are negating this. So we need to have some solid points where we can support the idea of the government. Right?
सी यू हैव टू. सबसे बड़ा आइडिया तो ये है कि आपका अभी सबसे बड़ा आप इश्यूज को लेके चलो. सबसे बड़ा इशू ये हो रहा है कि यू आर द फार्मर इज़ नॉट गेटिंग रियलाइजेशन ऑफ द प्राइस एंड द एग्रीकल्चर प्रोडक्टिविटी इज़ नॉट हाई. वाई एग्रीकल्चर प्रोडक्टिविटी इज़ नॉट, बिकॉज वी आर हैविंग मार्जिन फ्रेगमेंटेड, ठीक है, इकोनॉमी ऑफ स्केल इज़ नॉट देयर, राइट. नाउ व्हाट यू कैन डू दैट यू आर इन कॉर्पोरेट कॉन्ट्रैक्ट फार्मिंग, यू आर पूलिंग द लैंड, इकोनॉमी ऑफ स्केल, मैकेनाइजेशन. तीसरा एक सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम ये है एग्रीकल्चर में दैट यू आर देयर इज़ नो कैपिटल फॉर्मेशन. ये बहुत बड़ा प्रॉब्लम है. एक्चुअली ये जो मैं आंसर लिखा रहा हूँ, दिस आई एम टेलिंग यू ओनली, यू हैव टू सप्लीमेंट दिस आंसर व्हाट आई एम डिस्कसिंग विद यू, ठीक है. ये आपको एक, मैं तो ये इसलिए बता रहा हूँ कि ये ना आपको फ्रेम होना चाहिए कुछ, क्योंकि ऐसा नहीं हो जब आप पढ़ने बैठे तो आपको यार ये तो लिखा ही नहीं था. जस्ट फॉर दैट पर्पज़ होता है कि लिखते नहीं है ना तो आदमी फिर सो होता है साइकी में क्या लिखा ही नहीं है, तो ये करना नहीं है. आई एम जस्ट डिक्टेटिंग बिकॉज यू हैव टू इनकॉर्पोरेट ऑल द आइडियाज विच वी हैव ऑलरेडी डिस्कस्ड, राइट. उन सबसे आपको एक आंसर बनाना है. मैंने सारी चीज़ें डिस्कस की हैं, राइट. तो वो सारी चीज़ें उसकी वजह से फिर कॉन्ट्रैक्ट फार्मिंग आप इसलिए प्रमोट कर रहे हैं, ठीक है. जैसे आप APMC, यू आर नॉट हैविंग लॉजिस्टिक्स, फॉर एग्जांपल यू हैव नॉट टू डिपेंड अपॉन द मार्केट कंडीशंस. जैसे अभी कॉलीफ्लावर आपका ₹1 है, ठीक है, वो सीजन में कोई फ़र्क नहीं पड़ रहा है, एक हो चाहे फ्री में बिके, इट्स द वो उसकी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है. लेकिन उसमें अब इशूज़ हैं, लाइक कॉन्ट्रैक्ट फार्मिंग. व्हाट हैपन्स प्रैक्टिकली इन पंजाब, व्हाट आर दे सेइंग दैट you started with an agreement that we will purchase cauliflower at the rate of ₹5 per kg. Now what happens when the post harvesting the prices came down at the rate of ₹1 per kg. Now you are saying to the farmer that I will not take your this produce.
But you have to honor the agreement anyway.
That's what they are saying. See, it is, they are not saying in the agreement that we will give you 10,000 rupees. They are saying that it might be a possibility that they might, that is leasing, that is model leasing land. But in contact farming, what you are doing, you are taking land, not you are carrying out every thing on the land, and depending upon the output, you will be paying the price. Then when you are procuring anything from the farmer, you will define certain things now, that for example they will be saying that I want such type of aloo. ठीक है, this is happening in Punjab. What they are saying that when the post harvesting is coming, if there is demand in the market, then they are purchasing the things. But when there is no demand in the market, they are saying that if there are no demand in the market, then they are saying that we can purchase it from the market at lower prices, which is in the agreement. For example, agreement में वो लिख रहा है we will purchase it at 5 rupees per kg, right? But they are saying in market we are having it in 1 rupee per kg. That's the issue. ये इशू है, पंजाब वाले इसलिए चिल्ला रहे हैं, राइट? सो देयर शुड बी सच, मतलब इनको क्या करना चाहिए, द बेस्ट वे इज दैट डिपेंडिंग अपॉन द एक्सपीरियंसेस फ्रॉम द स्टेट्स वेयर इट इज बीइंग इम्प्लीमेंटेड, द गवर्नमेंट शुड ट्राई टू एड्रेस ऑल सच इश्यूज, राइट?
There is something called futures contract, right?
हाँ.
वगैरह उसके लिए तो मतलब
See, futures contract is basically even during the time of UPA 2, when these inflation was taking place in this food items. So a committee was set up under these communist people, right? So there was argument that this future contracts is actually increasing the inflation in this agriculture product. But it was, the conclusion of that committee was that there is no impact of future contract on the inflation. Future contract में कुछ नहीं है, वो क्या है कि जैसे वो क्या बोलता है कि they are assuming that based upon the market information they are saying that after 10 days, after 1 month, after 2 months, what will be the price of this produce, right? तो उसके बेसिस पे वो क्या करता है, वो कहता है कि if the price will be 15 rupees per kg and now it is 5 rupees per kg, now it is motivating the farmer to hold that particular product for 10 days or 15 days. दिस इज़ हाउ फ्यूचर कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स वर्क. तो बोलता है कि मतलब एक आर्ग्यूमेंट ये था कि पीपल आर होल्डिंग देयर प्रोड्यूस इन, क्योंकि फ्यूचर कॉन्ट्रैक्ट ने बोला है कि वो 15 साल बाद, वो 15 दिन बाद वो 5 रुपये की चीज़ 15 रुपये की हो जाएगी. बट जब डिमांड, राइट? सो दे आर आर्ग्यूइंग, इट्स एन आर्ग्यूमेंट, बट कंक्लूसिवली इट इज़ नॉट, मतलब इट हैज़ नॉट बीन प्रूव्ड. ठीक है, ये कमेटी बैठी थी UPA 2 के टाइम पे, बट इनकंक्लूसिव.
So, लेकिन फ्यूचर्स में शायद ऐसा होता है ना, we already fixed the price of the commodity in future.
सी, आपने फिक्स किया, ठीक है, वो गेम वहाँ पे चल रहा है, बट उससे एक क्यू ये आया मार्केट में कि वो इतना हो जाएगा. नॉर्मली देखो क्या है इसमें बताऊँ, ये इट वाज बेसिकली स्कैम भी हुआ था. इफ़ यू कैन रिकॉल NCDEX करके एक स्कैम हुआ था. वी स्टार्टेड दिस commodities market. This is the basically commodities market. इसमें होता क्या है कि आइडियली यू आर, जैसे स्टोर इसमें होता है, ठीक है, जैसे क्या है, इफ़ यू आर स्टॉकिस्ट ऑफ दैट, सो आइडियली व्हाट इज़ हैपनिंग, यू विल बी स्टॉकिंग दोज आइटम्स. अगर इन्होंने फ्यूचर लगाया 15 का फ्यूचर में, ठीक है, तो इन्होंने जो फ्यूचर लगाया तो ये क्या करेंगे, आइडियली इन्हें ख़रीदना है वो, राइट? लेकिन बीच में इन बिटवीन इट वाज अ कंप्लीट स्कैम. बट अब इसलिए क्या है ना, वो फ्यूचर्स कुछ चीज़ों में रोक दिया गया. तो इन्होंने क्या किया, दे कीप गिविंग द रिसीट्स बट देयर वाज नो स्टॉक होल्डिंग अगेंस्ट दोज रिसीट्स, राइट? बहुत पढ़ना है इसको, कमोडिटी एग्री कमोडिटी स्कैम लिख लो इसको, आप पढ़ना है इसको, कमोडिटी मार्केट स्कैम. इट हैज़ बीन अराउंड 5 to 10 years. वहाँ पे थोड़ा आपको क्लियर होगा. तो जो फ्यूचर कॉन्ट्रैक्ट आप बोल रहे हैं ना, यस, यू आर एग्रीइंग अपॉन दैट द प्राइस इन द फ्यूचर विल बी सच एंड सच. सो इफ द प्राइसेस इज बीइंग डिक्लेयर्ड दैट दे विल राइज,
एक सॉर्ट ऑफ प्राइस एश्योरेंस तो मिल जाएगा ना फार्मर को,
सी,
सब्जेक्टेड टू मार्केट.
प्राइस एश्योरेंस आपको मिलेगा, लेकिन आप वही है ना, वो वही तो बोल रहा है कि आप उससे प्राइस को मैनिपुलेट कर रहे हैं. यू आर ट्राइंग टू मैनिपुलेट द प्राइस विदाउट एनी बेसिस. जैसे इन्होंने बोला ना, आइडियल ये था कि इन्हें स्टोर करना था, जिसने द पर्सन हु इज इन्वेस्टिंग इन फ्यूचर कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स या फिर जो गेम कर रहे हैं इसको, उनके पास अपनी चीज़ होनी चाहिए, लेकिन हकीकत में क्या, कुछ है ही नहीं। हकीकत में ये हुआ, वो बस इन्फ्लेट कर रहे थे मार्केट को। समझ रहे हैं बात को? कायदे में जो फ्यूचर कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स में काम कर रहा है, जो फिक्स कर रहा है ना, ही शुड हैव सर्टेन फंडामेंटल, उसके पास में वो चीज़ होनी चाहिए, ठीक है, लेकिन वो एक्चुअल में होता नहीं है कुछ भी, ठीक है। ये पूरा स्कैम था। तो फिर वो ना थोड़ा ठंडा हो गया वो चीज़। राइट डाउन लीजिंग ऑफ लैंड। नीति आयोग has come up with the idea of leasing of the land, so that the problems related to small holdings can be overcome. Under this law, the owner of the land leases out its land to any person oblique any company for a particular period of time. At the pre-decided rates. Under this law, there is no change in the ownership rights of the owner. This law is very much beneficial for the tenants, because all the benefits provided by the government policies and programs will now be available to the person who is actually carrying out the agricultural practice, which was not case in the existing regime. Next लिखिए subsidy. It's over. Subsidy. Next topic. Subsidies are the form of support provided by government to the beneficiaries. In the Indian context, the subsidies are mainly for the food, fuel and fertilizers. Along with the education and health subsidies. Subsidies can be classified as merit and non-merit, full stop. Merit subsidies promoting positive externalities like promoting education and environment, while non-merit subsidies creates negative externalities like fuel subsidy. Second classification can be direct and indirect. Direct subsidies are for specified groups like PM Kisan, and indirect are universal in nature. Like tax rebates. Right. Next, rationality of subsidies. In the Indian context, a quarter of population but still under the poverty line, and the government is being directed by the Constitution to take care of each and every citizen. Food subsidy ensures the availability of food grains to this section of the society, which otherwise would not have access to the food. Food subsidy in India can be classified in three forms. First, to the farmers in the form of support price bracket MSP. Second, to the FCI gap between the cost to FCI and CIP, central issuing price. The gap between cost incurred by FCI and CIP, central issue price. Third, consumer subsidies bracket PDS. Next लिखिए, if we analyze the rationality of food subsidies, then it is being observed that it promotes the food security to the citizens, but with certain negative aspects. The food subsidy in the form of MSP is mainly wheat and paddy centric, promoting monocropping and disturbing the cropping pattern. It eventually degrades the soil, making agriculture unsustainable. Full stop. FCI should have a buffer stock to ensure the food security and to run the PDS. But it's a fact that FCI procurements are open-ended and FCI reserves are now more than 85 million tons, while the buffer requirement is around 20 to 25 million tons. Procurement are consistently increasing because of increase in the food grains production. On the other hand, offtakes are gradually decreasing. Operations of FCI are mainly confined to the Green Revolution areas, where farmers are already rich. The food grains are transported from these areas to grain deficit areas, which results in a lot of transportation expenditures. Shanta Kumar report highlights the efficiencies in the functioning of FCI operations. Right. Highlights the efficiencies in the FCI operations.
Efficiencies or inefficiencies?
Inefficiencies in the FCI operations. Done. ठीक है. We'll continue after lunch.